Well, today has been a very busy day. My last video, I kind of announced about the BRCA gene and that I had that and kind of what that was. At that point, I told everybody I was supposed to be having my surgery July 8th, but then COVID started coming up again and ruining my plans again. However, surgery is still on. I had a little bit of a panic attack a couple weeks ago when Dallas County reported excuse me, that they were canceling all elective surgeries because last time this happened, they canceled my surgery. So it's still a go. So today I went in for all my pre-admit testing, which I've already had a lot of testing. So up until this point, I've already had a mammogram, ultrasound, MRI with contrast. I've had pelvic sonograms. I've had so many things. and I don't even actually have active cancer or anything like that right now. So imagine the people that do have cancer and they're also having the surgery, the amount of stuff that they're going through in the midst of also having a pandemic happening. So today I came in for my pre-admit testing and I had the COVID swab. That sucks. It actually wasn't that bad, but they stick that Q-tip into your brain practically, and my lady was counting. She said, I'm going to count to 15. And it kind of made me think of the episode of Friends where, this is stupid, where Ross is in the tanning bed and he's supposed to count to 5 and then flip and count to 5, and he uses Mississippi's. So this lady counts with Mississippi's. She's like twirling it in my nose. She's like, 1, 2, okay, we're gonna count to 15, which is really like 45 seconds in non-Mississippi counting. Anyways, I divulge. So, had that, had blood work, had EKG, had chest x-ray, and yeah, I don't know, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I'm all caught up with all of my pre-admin work. On Wednesday, I go in at 6:30, and I have a little bit more stuff to do. So I'm having what is called a nipple-sparing, skin-sparing, prophylactic double mastectomy with a sentinel lymph node biopsy. Not a lot of people have probably heard of any of that, but a sentinel lymph node biopsy is where they look at your lymph nodes and they try to see if there's any irregular division in them. So typically, if somebody has had cancer, they are going to find where the cancer was at in their breast, and they're going to inject a dye into that cancer spot. And wherever that dye kind of uptakes into your lymph nodes that are in your armpit, that is going to be the sentinel lymph node. So it's not like the center of all of your lymph nodes, but it is that first lymph node of contact from where that area in your breast will drain. Now, because I don't actually have active cancer, and this is for prophylactic reasons, they still will inject the dye into me when I go in on Wednesday morning before my surgery. So at first I was thinking, why do I need to have a sentinel lymph node biopsy if I don't have active cancer? And the reason people care about lymph nodes is whenever you remove lymph nodes, it can increase your chances of developing a condition called lymphedema. Now, ironically, I happen to be a certified lymphedema therapist, which is really strange when you think about it. I'm certified in oncology and lymphedema and all these other things prior to knowing that I was BRCA positive. So that's just how God works. He knew I was going to be going through this, and I'm a little bit of a control freak, and I would need to know all the doctors on hand, which actually worked out great and was a big blessing for my whole family because none of us had to worry about finding the right type of doctors or the team really of doctors that you need because I worked in this field. So it was a huge blessing. So back to the sentinel node. So when I go in, they're going to inject that dye, and it's going to uptake to the kind of the hot spot of all of the lymph nodes. When they're looking at, even though I don't have active cancer, your lymph system is almost like the garbage system of your body. It can actually break down cancer prior to it developing. So that's like a hyperplasia cell. That usually is almost like a precancer type of cell, and so they can look in my lymph nodes to see if I have any hyperplasia activity. It won't necessarily change the outcome of my treatment because I'm going to be having a prophylactic mastectomy anyways, but it's just helpful to know if there was anything that was already starting to divide or any abnormal cells. So I'll go in, they'll inject the dye. As part of my surgery, what I'll be doing on Wednesday is the actual mastectomy. So that will be with Dr. Canavan. She comes in, she's actually a BRCA2 specialist, irony again, and she will come in and do the mastectomy part and look at my lymph nodes. Then Dr. Potter, he is my plastic surgeon. So he will come in and place the expander, and I'll show you all a picture of the expanders. They look weird. It's kind of like a deflated implant, and so that expander will actually be placed the same time as my mastectomy, and they put it inside of my chest, in my pec muscle, and they sew it on. It is not very comfortable, and it has a little port at the top of it, and when they put it in at the time of surgery, he'll fill it a little bit, and then I will go in and have fills and into that port. So when I'll show you the video because it's kind of crazy, but they go in and they find the little port, they jab a needle in it, and then they fill that port with fluid so it can stretch that expander. And that expander helps to stretch and prepare your skin for your reconstruction later on. So that's what I'll be having on Wednesday. Y'all keep me in your prayers. I'm as prepared as you can be for something like this that you've never gone through. I think it's kind of strange, like when people ask, like, how are you doing? Like, I don't know how to answer that. I mean, you know that you should be like, oh, I'm okay, because you should just be, you know, peppy and happy and act like everything's fine. But it's hard, it's different. It almost feels like how you feel the very first time you're having a child. You've obviously never gone through labor. You don't know what your outcome is going to be. You've only heard other people's stories about what their labor was like and what their feelings were and what happened to them. And you know you're just going to fall in the middle of some of that. So, you know, I'm excited in a way because this reduces my chances of cancer from 86% to 1%. So obviously that's huge. But it's still very nerve-wracking. I mean, it's my body. It's going to be forever changed. You know, what will it look like? How will I heal? How bad is this going to be? You know, it just kind of wears on you in a different way than you've probably had to prepare before. So, you know, I have a lot of good people taking care of me. My husband is amazing. He is just awesome and will be nursing me back to health. Hopefully I won't be a very dramatic person, but I mean, I'm still a woman, so we'll see how that goes. So, yeah, I mean, I'm ready to get this phase done with. So, you know, I'll just be praying for me, and I appreciate all the kind words and all the cards and the flowers, and, you know, just really love you guys and hope that this can help other people. If you know someone who's going through this, definitely feel free to reach out and let me know if I can help. Thanks.